Tina, finally, I get you on here. Taken long enough, man. How are you?
I'm good, Peter. How are you?
I'm good, man. HODL, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be on a podcast with BitcoinTINA because I can just sit this one out. He's going to do all the talking.
That's not true. We got a few things to resolve. So, Tina, listen, man. I'm worried that you're going to give yourself a cardiac on Clubhouse. Every time I go to Clubhouse, doesn't matter what time of the day, there's a room and you're always there. And then I click on the room and I go in and you're yelling at people.
You know, I figured out why that may be. I figured out why. I think a part of that are my AirPods. I swear to God, it's true. My wife, she never wears AirPods. And the other day she was watching something and she's like screaming at me. It's like, she never does this. And I think that I don't really hear myself with some of these AirPods. And when you don't hear yourself, so I have a headset now that has, I can sort of hear the ambient noise. But when I can't hear myself, what's that?
I need you a bit louder now.
You need me louder?
Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's the problem. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, you're good now. But no, dude, you're always yelling at people, man.
Because I think I'm not hearing myself. That's why I'm yelling. Because I'm wearing those AirPods and I don't hear me. And so since I don't hear me, I end up raising my voice. And I think that's part of the problem.
This is a very convenient excuse, Tina.
I think
very
so.
Convenient.
I think so. I come in and it's like you don't. I don't remember hearing you swearing, but you're like you're definitely yelling at people.
It's definitely the AirPods. I'm a guy. I'm filled with love. I'm filled with love for people in Bitcoin. It's the AirPods that are the damn problem.
You're shouting at shitcoiners.
Well, they deserve it. And a lot of people, they always start off. It's funny because it always kind of goes the same way. And I don't know how I pick up on it. I was in a room the other day. The guy started off. I don't even remember what he was saying, but it was clear somehow that there was something wrong. And then some of the other people in the room started asking them, tell us about Dave Coin. And they prompted him enough. He started talking. He said, well, I'm working on this thing called Paradigm, whatever it is. And they knocked him off the stage. It wasn't even me. So these people, they have their own tells. They can't help themselves because they are there for a reason. They are there to shill some coin. And they want to come into the Bitcoin rooms and they want to shill to the audience that we've got.
One of the biggest red flags is if somebody says crypto, right off the bat, you know they're a scammer. Right off the bat. That is a massive red flag. Huge.
Well, there's a variety of things. We had a guy the other day when I had Weinstein on got him for about 45 minutes on Clubhouse, and then we opened up the floor and some guy came on, and I didn't realize D++ warned me that he's like an XRP shill, and he just wanted to have the conversation, and he tried to fill the conversation in by how the technology can help Bitcoin. And I was like, what? And I was like, look, dude, like I was even nice about it. I was like, come on, man. We're just having a chat about Bitcoin. Like I respect you. You want to invest into these things. That's cool. We're not going to do it now. And he was like, started to lose his shit and say, why do I always get kicked out of these rooms? It's just like, look
you're
man,
censoring
we don't want to cover
me
this right now. You're censoring me. I want to talk. And
well, they shouldn't mind the censorship because they own coins that can be censored. So they should get used to that.
Ooh. Tina in with a hot take. You know what, Tina?
It's
about the first 8 months of talking to you online, I thought you were a girl. I think everyone thinks that.
I've heard that before. Actually, I met some people. I don't want to mention the names because I don't want to embarrass them. But I had met some people at a conference, and the guy said to me, "I thought you were a girl." I said,
that was me.
No,
that was me.
That was not you.
I said that to you at that dinner, at that home slice barbecue. I was like, I thought you were a chick. I was like, who's this?
It was not the first time I heard that.
I was like, who's this chick sliding into my DMs? Wants to talk to me about Bitcoin all the time.
That's so funny.
It's because there is no alternative. Is a very it's a very boomer meme. I think younger people don't know it. They've never heard it.
It must be because I actually, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even realize that was a Maggie Thatcher meme when I met Max in San Fran. He actually had mentioned that. I actually didn't know it. I only knew it from Rick Santelli because he had used that on CNBC around the time, like 2008 or 9.
Have you got like a boomer Telegram group with you You and Gary Leyland and Max.
I do not. Maybe we need a boomer telegram. It sounds boring though. I like talking to the young guys like American HODL. But I love talking. Look, I love talking to Max and Gary too. I'm not.
We should introduce you properly, Tina. Like, tell people who you are who don't know you as much as you want to tell.
Like what?
You've got a background. You've got an interesting background.
Yeah, but I don't talk about it that much. I traded for many years.
Yeah, you do.
You literally you always talk about it.
Every Tina story starts with, I used to trade, and here's how I used to do it.
So you guys should give my background, because I think you may know it better than I do.
Look, yeah, but like it's nice for you to introduce it, dude.
I traded for years. I followed markets for years. I've been interested in Wall Street, and I basically, ironically, had a bit of a macro bent. Some of my best trades ever were macro trades, but I also looked at individual stocks. I did a lot of my own research, did a lot of individual work, and basically, I guess, had I not kept thinking that we're going to have a deflationary depression and the Fed was going to do the right thing, I'd have had a lot more money. So made that mistake. Finally realized after like 20 years that, oh, this is stupid, and it became obvious to me that the Fed is never, policy is going to be easy forever. Unless, of course, they decide to get religion, in which case they'll crash everything. But Bitcoin will still do great, and at least you get your money out of Bitcoin at that point. So I mean, mostly. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Did you get the Bitcoin thing straight away, or did you like take a few? Did you have to bump into it a few times, like some of us?
I did bump into it a few times. So I heard Trace Mayer in 2014 at a conference, and I talked to him afterwards. The guy who was running the conference kind of poo-pooed Bitcoin, and I respected the guy who was running the conference. He's a pretty good stock analyst, and I was still really interested. I went and talked to Trace after he presented. We spoke for like a half an hour. I thought it was really interesting. And I didn't realize this till later. I stupidly did not ask him, so how do I buy Bitcoin? Which was really dumb of me. And then it just it fell off my radar. And it just didn't hit me up. I had subscribed to another newsletter and never paid attention to that newsletter. For some reason, I started looking at it in 2017, and they were talking about Bitcoin. I think they're probably talking about it since 2016 at least. And it caught my attention again, and it was moving up, and I started doing work on it in May of 2017, and then bought my first Bitcoin end of September 2017. In fact, I was talking about it a lot with people, trying to learn, trying to understand, and somebody said to me, they said, so you've been talking about this for a while when you can actually buy some. So I said, yeah, that's a really good point there. So I'm in some ways, my experience is not different than many other people's, kind of dragging your feet, getting into it. The idea of getting off zero is so important. And I kept doing work and just dove down the rabbit hole. But I wish that I had not let it slip off my radar. And then there were times when friends had discussed it with me. And again, I was like most people, like, well, I don't really need that. I'm doing other things. That seems to be the theme for people. Well, right, you just asked. I said, yeah, same thing. Same thing happened to me.
We all wish we got there earlier. I'm not fucked up a few times, but it happened. Hodl, man, how's your week been?
Been good, man. I've just, I'm so fucking bored. I need a new all-time high like yesterday. I thought we were going to hit it like, last night or the night before.
Yeah.
And nope. Stuck in fucking 59K. Fucking purgatory forever. Jesus Christ. This is like the longest. It feels like a really, really long consolidation. Although I know I'm just addicted to the dopamine rush of new all-time highs. I don't even know why I care because I'm not a trader. But I'm addicted to seeing the number go up on the screen, Can
you watch your language? I've had 2 emails this week saying there's too much swearing in the show.
Tell those people to eat my dick. Politely, respectfully. Respectfully shove my dick in your mouth. Respectfully.
I did. Yeah. I'm probably not going to do that. Also, my dad, I told you my dad's going to listen to this one because my dad, I can't get him to listen to my podcast. And he was like, give me one show to listen to. And he listened to this one and he basically really likes you. So he was like, oh, let me know when he's back on. Fuck off. Cheers, Dad.
Well, it goes to everybody except Peter's dad. Everybody else can eat my dick. Peter's dad seems like a very lovely gentleman.
Sorry, Dad.
What does your father think about you getting an Aston Martin? Does he think you're too big for your britches now?
No, he's like, you've worked your fucking balls off. Like, he knows more than anyone how much I've worked and how much shit I've been through in like the last 5 years. He's like, loves it.
What do the Bedford townspeople think about you? They see you driving around like, look at this motherfucker, this guy.
Around here, we I don't know, man. I don't talk to anyone. My dad gets his Jag this. My dad gets his Jag this week. You know, I bought my dad a Jag.
Oh yeah, you bought your dad a Jaguar too, right? What the fuck, so Peter? Why are you so high time preference, bro? The plebs are not going to enjoy this. Okay, they're going to be like, this is about sovereignty. How dare you?
I know. I kind of enjoy that side of it. That's why I keep posting pictures of it just to fuck with them.
Does it really not fuck? Does it really not fuck with you that the money you spend on, like, let's say an Aston Martin now? I know you have your stupid BlockFi nonsense where you've like worked out a.
No, it's not even that. It's not even that.
I know. But does it bother you the opportunity cost of like all the wasted potential? Because, you know, Bitcoin's at 60K and that seems like a lot of money, but we all know and believe that it's going into the multi-millions category and then into the tens of millions category, right? So it's like every Bitcoin you waste now is a potential $20 million in the future.
Yeah, but I'm a 42 now, right?
Yeah. But it's only going to take another 10 or 15 years for the, you know, S curve to play out in terms of adoption. It's not going to take forever.
Well, I've done... Oh, I have to say something then I forgot my dad. Well, actually, my dad knows. I've done a lot of drugs in my time, so I might not even live that long. So, you know, I think I totally get the HODL thing and what everyone's saying, blah, blah, blah. And it's a good meme. But at the same time, I'm 42, man. And like, I'm starting to get a lot. I feel like I'm getting older quickly and really kind of like everything's starting to break in my body.
Well, this is interesting with
time is scarce as well, dude. And like, I've got to enjoy some of it.
This is interesting with Tina because Tina, you're in your 60s, right? So like, a lot of people in your age...
Not yet.
Are you not yet. 50 what? 50 something?
Late 50s.
Late 50s. Okay.
Late 50s.
Sorry.
Getting really close to 60. Really close. Too close.
Okay, so Tina's like 58,
and I feel
59.
I feel like everything's breaking too.
Well, you should definitely be spending some Bitcoin, Tina.
I plan on it, but here's the thing. I actually think it's going to hit some really high numbers pretty fast, and I just don't want to part with too much. I think we're going to see... first of all, I don't think it's a 1 year phenomenon. I don't think it's a 1 year cycle and then it goes to hell next year. So I think it's going to be this year, $200,000-$300,000 by year end. I think you have some correction, and then year after is going to be between $500,000 and $700,000. Year after that, it's going to be $1 million to 1.2 million. And unless it goes like 200,000 or 300,000 this year and goes to over $1 million next year, like $1.5 million, which is really possible, that you get, you know, what I call the hardest trade, where it just doesn't let people in. And I think that you're going to get a lot of FOMOing in. I think there'll be a lot of big buyers who are going to not want to chase it, but they're going to come in and buy the dip. So I think this works out very differently than most people think, because I frame it differently than most people frame it.
Yeah. Also, look, hold on. Listen, I haven't actually sold. Like, I took finance out on the asset. And
what about the Jag though? You sell any for the Jag?
No, I'm just paying cash for that. But all I'm doing is opportunity cost of buying more Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I've stacked this year. Like this last year, I've stacked, man. So I'm happy where I am. Like,
but we both know you never have enough Bitcoin. You never have enough.
Yeah,
do you
but
really
feel
happy with your stack? Do you really feel happy with your stack? Because I don't.
Yeah, but
I don't feel happy with my stack.
I don't feel happy with my stack.
I would like more, but you know what? If it goes to what Tina's says is right, I can have whatever holiday I ever want. I can buy Beavertown Football Club, and I'm happy. I got everything I need.
I thought during the bear market, I really believed that I was doing a really good job stacking, living on less, going hard, buying at the right time, buying the dips. And I did manage to meaningfully increase my stack, right? But when I look back on it, I think, God, there was so much shit that I spent money on that really was just a waste and I didn't actually need. And if I had had a little more discipline, and I know you got to live life and blah, 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 but like there was stuff I just straight up didn't need that I spent money on because of just human weakness, right? Like because I just couldn't help myself. And so when I look back on my performance over the bear market, I really have to give myself like a B+, and I wanted to give myself an A+, and it just wasn't fucking good enough, unfortunately.
You're never going to spend all the money you make from your Bitcoin.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. Yeah,
you're never going to spend it. I'm actually worried.
Leave it for your kids, right?
I'm actually worried. After taxes, my whole concern is I'm trying to figure out. When will we be able to borrow against it in a way that makes sense, so that we really don't have to spend very much. And that's actually my biggest concern, because take a big tax hit and then spend it, and you don't have the money to spend. I would like to be able to borrow against it. And ideally, I'd like to be able to do it in a way that's trust minimized.
Listen, if it goes to where we think it's going, HODL, you can leave a shit ton for your kids and still not spend it all. I know that. My view is like, I was trying to think of a ratio today. Like, if you spent 10% of your fiat gains, if you spent 10% of your fiat stack, they're like priced it in fiat and spent 10% each year, you can have a great life and you never run out of money.
Yes.
But I want to know what that
probably accurate.
I want to know what the good ratio is. So by the time I get to the end, there's still like there's an all right amount to leave for some people, but I've gone, because I'll give you an example. Look, this will sound like a sad story, but it's a good way of explaining it. You know about my mum passing away a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like my dad worked like a motherfucker his whole life, right? Like literally worked unbelievably hard to give us a good life, right? Send us to a good school and all that shit. Like he used to go in and work 24-hour shifts at the airport. They used to call it the ghost shift. Or he would do like 4 days on, 4 days off, and the 4 days off, when there was overtime, he would take it. And sometimes he would just go straight through. Like I don't know anyone who's worked as hard as him. And they retired, and I think they got about 10 years. I'm trying to remember. I think they got about 10 years, 9 years in Ireland. But like maybe 7 years in is when my mum got sick, right? And they didn't know that was coming. And, so stuff happens, right? God, I hope I live old, but what if next year I get cancer? Or what if in 5 years? Like, I want to make sure I'm still enjoying stuff, like having holidays, doing stuff I want to do. Yeah, there's the opportunity cost, but time has an opportunity cost, right?
Yeah, that's
I've already had cancer and a heart attack.
Fucking hell, man! How are you still alive?
Huh? I'm still alive. Yeah,
I didn't even know that. What cancer did you have?
I don't talk about it.
You don't talk about it. Okay, well, I want to
I
ask.
had prostate cancer. I had my prostate removed.
Jesus.
My father died from it.
So did my father. My father died from prostate cancer.
Yeah.
So yeah, good shit that you got it removed. And see, I feel this. I have a different perspective on this, Pete. I think that we come from this very materialistic, consumption-based culture where we have all these ideas of I need a fancy car, and I need to go on these fancy vacations, and I need to do this and that and yada yada yada, and I need to basically die with a picture book of memories from all of the trips I took to exotic locales and things like this. And really, none of that is meaningful. None of that is spending the money so that you can spend time with your loved ones. Yes, that is very important, and that is always important, and you should definitely do that. You should spend money where you can to earn back time, but spending money on material items, I think, is just always an absolute waste. Like,
wait, and Peter, hold on. See, I'm gonna make a bet with you, and it's not a bet we're gonna actually bet money on, but I'm gonna bet that the joy you got from giving your father that Jag is going to be much more than the joy you get from any car you give yourself.
No, fuck him as well. No, I'm only kidding because he's going to be listening. No, it is. Look, listen, my dad always wanted a Jag. Like as a kid, he always
and you're gonna have a lot of you have a lot of joy giving him that, didn't you?
Yeah. Because he always wanted one when I was a kid. He always it was I think it was the XJR he always liked, and he could never afford it. He spent all his money putting us through school. So I was like, I'd always planned to get him one, and then it was a bit earlier than I planned. But he phoned me up a couple of months ago because he's got some Kia thing, and he was like, he's thinking of changing. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, you just waited 3 months. So I've actually bought it sooner than I wanted to. But no, I've definitely got a lot of joy out of that. I've done some stuff for my brother and sister, like and various other people. And I think, do you know what I think the difference is? I'm going to make 2 points. Firstly, have you listened to Rogan this week? HODL?
I have not. No. So
it's a wicked one. It's really worth listening to. He's got this guy on, Brian Green, and they're doing about here it is. It's all about like physics and quantum
fabric of the cosmos. Yeah. I know Brian Green.
Stuff. Mm-hmm. But and it's really good. It's really engaging. But he actually said something, Rogan, which I thought was quite interesting. I was like thinking about it I was down in London today, driving down, and he said materialism drives innovation. Because we want to consume stuff and because we want stuff, then people have to make stuff that's better.
No, okay.
And that drives us forward.
I 100% agree with this, but you should demand better stuff. If you are going to part with your Bitcoin, the scarcest asset in humanity's history, the scarcest money that we've ever known, the hardest money we've ever known, if you are going to part with that, something that can literally, one Bitcoin could literally give untold, fortune and prosperity to your descendants. If you were going to part with that, you need to demand something of pristine quality, something super high quality that's actually meaningful to your life, not plastic consumerist garbage that ends up in the Pacific Ocean, which is what we often spend our money on in this sort of high velocity trash economy. And what I'm saying is this, is that I would
James
like to
Bond's
spend
car.
Yeah, well, cool shit. Like, right? Like if there was a flying car, I would want one. I would spend money to get a flying car because that would be fucking awesome, right? But we don't have stuff like that. What we have is just apps and plastic garbage, right? And so I don't want to spend money on plastic garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not me. It doesn't make my life meaningfully better. I want to hold out for something that is going to make my life meaningfully better. So I will hold out until the items that I want to see that make my life meaningfully better, that change my life, come into existence. That's when I will spend Bitcoin.
I think, do you know what I think another difference is though? I think you care about your total net wealth position that you get to. I think that's an important number to you. Because I think if your position takes you to billionaire status, you're like, I fucking made it as billionaire. I think, and I don't give a shit about that. Like I give a shit about, can I complete the game? The game is like getting through to the end of life without going through as little hardship as possible, right? Whether that's like, I don't know, heartache and your family and your financially. But like, if you can get through to the end of the game financially okay, you've done well, because a lot of people fucking struggle. And I'm going to be okay there. But like,
there's
I just
also there's this Satoshian sort of principle of wealth, right? Where like Satoshi has 1 million Bitcoins, but he's never spent them. Now, did he burn the keys? Is he dead? Is he somebody with superhuman discipline? We don't know. But what we do know is that Satoshi is not taking part in the wealth that he generated for the entire world. So that creates this origin story at the heart of Bitcoin, that the thing you do with Bitcoin is
you could be creating mythology.
The coins haven't moved, right? So that we know. But
we don't know why. So if we
don't know why, but he still is not taking. But he still is not taking part in the wealth that he created.
But you could be speculating based on your bias that you want it to be one way, and it might be another way.
But the point remains that the coins have not moved. And so what I'm saying is that if we are going to be the men who change the world, if we're going to be the people that change the world, and we're going to sort of follow in that, that path in Satoshi's footsteps, which like, it gets a little religious, a little mythological when I start speaking this way. But that is how you set the world right, by basically planting seeds in a garden that you never get to see, by leaving behind a legacy, and by not spending today on cheap consumer crap, but by demanding a better future for yourself and your children.
Yeah, but I don't disagree with that.
I totally agree with what American HODL just said. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, I'm not buying like cheap, stupid shit. I mean,
that Aston Martin's made of plastic.
Fuck off, that's a great car.
You're buying expensive, stupid shit.
yeah, but like, and no, Bedford Town will be expensive, stupid shit. That will be, but that, whatever. Well, I get the
Well,
point
no,
you're making.
I understand you wanting to do that. My only argument would be that you won't have to wait that many more years before that Aston Martin buys you really substantially more, something really substantial. I think it's only going to be a couple of years.
Yeah, but listen,
most,
if I had,
actually.
firstly, I didn't, like I say, it's on credit, so it's opportunity cost. And even if I had, it's not like I had one Bitcoin and I sold it today and bought that car, and therefore I'm fucked for the future because I've got no Bitcoin left. There's like, I'm not even in that position.
Right.
You know, the half a Bitcoin I won off you will probably pay for that car by the end of the year. Now, then I would sell it. No, then I would sell it, and I would probably have your name engraved in it.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
You should just like paint. You could paint it on the hood and the trunk, and maybe something
point,
on the side.
The point I'm trying to make about this, and I'm sure Tina has thoughts on this, is that, you know, we live in a world right now where the baby boomers broke the social contract. They left their children less than they were given. Right. And, you know, there's a lot of things that went into this. I mean, they were saddled with the embedded growth paradigm, which happened post World War II, in which they had to grow at all costs in order to sustain the economy. And what they figured out was that they couldn't grow the entire pie for everyone, but what they could do is grow slices of the pie for the super wealthy. And that's when you get to Reaganomics and trickle down economics, and you get to deregulation, and you get to fiat currency, right? And then you have this group.
I actually don't think that was what Reaganomics was. I think most of that comes out of Fed policy and being unwilling to take economic downturns. So you drive rates to zero.
The macro story is that they couldn't grow the whole pie for everyone anymore, and so they found a trick, a cheat code. And I agree with you. That cheat code is, you know, creating a counterfeit currency, essentially. And so we live in this society where our parents, like for me, I'm a millennial, you know, I'm probably the age of Tina's children, you know, or around that same age. We have been left less than we were supposed to be left. And we know that. And there is no social contract for us. The institutions don't work the way that they were supposed to work. We have no buy-in in our society. You know, at the same point in the millennial age range, the baby boomers had something like 30% of total wealth. We have like 6% of total wealth. It's a pittance compared to what was given to us. And we're not going to be able to participate in the same games that the boomers had, like buying these, like all these McMansions that are all across the Sun Belt are sitting empty because boomers can't find buyers for them, because they built these, you know, shrines of stucco with faux turrets, monuments of ignorance to themselves, and they got boosted because of Fed policy. You know, the asset inflation went crazy.
That's consumerism. That's real consumerism, and that's a lot of wasted. That's a lot of dead capital. That's huge amounts of dead capital that could have gone into far more productive uses in terms of building businesses, developing technologies, and it was wasted. I argue with people all the time that buying a house is a consumption item. Your house is a consumption item. It's because you choose to live that way. But they were sold a bill of goods that your house is an investment. Your house is not an investment. Your house is a consumption item, and people massively overbought their homes. Money could have gone to much better use.
I fully
that was
agree.
really a bad use of money.
I fully agree with Tina. And what my point is here is that essentially, you know, I don't want to follow in those footsteps of leaving nothing behind. And what I've figured out, especially during like the pandemic and everything, is that what I really want is to spend time with my family and to go to nice meals occasionally. That's all I really want out of life. You know?
You told me you want to buy a plane.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I'm a billionaire, I'm totally going to buy a plane, of course.
Lease it. Lease it. Don't buy it. Lease it. You know that joke, right?
Yeah, I know that joke.
Floats, flies. Yeah.
Or fucks.
Yeah, I know
that's
that
the
one.
end of it.
Yeah. Hold on, should we talk about our bet?
All right, let's see what Tina thinks about it.
HODL put out this thing on Twitter, and I was tempted by it, and now I've accepted it. He said he thinks Bitcoin will hit $300,000 before the end of the year. He's willing to bet half a Bitcoin on it, and I'm like, okay, I'll take that bet. It's a tricky one because I did the interview with Willy Woo, and Willy fucking nails it. Like, if you look at his analysis, he pretty much nails it every time. and he said he thinks he tops out around 300K. I think it comes in short.
Willie did say 300 is his bearish take. That's minimum.
Well,
I don't know what this year does. I'm much more interested in next year than I am this year.
See,
I'm intrigued by next year.
This is the thing. It's the people like Tina who get me to not want to take this bet, because we are seeing these really long periods of consolidation. Institutions are setting the floor with all the buying that's going on. You know, I don't know. It could be that the cycle is going to lengthen significantly, and then we don't hit 300 in this calendar year. So it's just the timing.
Make the bet harder. Make it like 250, 265. Then it becomes a much harder bet.
You want to change the terms of the bet already?
250. I don't know.
I think I thought already.
No, because
that's 300.
I do feel extremely bullish about 300, but then I'm also it's the timing. It's the timing,
right?
You know?
No. That's why I have my prediction always was for this cycle of $200,000 to $400,000 minimum. But when I said that, that was not 2021. That was 2021, 2022, 2023. And by the way, the cross asset model is 288 cluster for a 4-year period, and there's no implication of it selling off, and could reach 2.5 times that number, according to Plan B. So
Corey from Swan hates the model.
I know he does. That's Corey's issue. But that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is I have always thought, number one, I expect the model to break on the upside. Number two, I expect there to be basically much smaller percentage corrections with extensions, because I think my framing, as I've been telling people, is last decade Bitcoin was perceived by most of the world as an illegitimate asset. So you did not have wealthy guys coming in to want to buy Bitcoin on dips, which meant that Bitcoin dropped very significantly because you didn't have guys who were worth 20 million, 50 million, 100 million. You didn't have institutions that wanted to buy it. I think that's different this cycle because you have that really big money that's going to be desperate to buy because they're going to watch it go up 10x. I mean, this year, started the year at 29,000. If it finishes the year at 250, let's say, that's a pretty big increase. You're talking about, what is that, 8, 9x? That's a big number. So slight correction, I got to buy me some of that. And next year, it goes from 250 to 5, 6, 7. Right. You get a correction. Year after, it goes to 1.2, 1.3, 1.5. Then you front run the halving, and you're at $2 million in 2024 on your way to $5 million by 2025, 2026. So this is all going to push much more aggressively because you're not going to have those dips, and people are going to realize that they're missing out. And somewhere along the way this decade, you're going to get this flashover experience where people say, oh my God, I don't own this, or I don't own enough of this, because pretty much everybody's going to feel like American HODL does, that he doesn't own enough. And me, except I don't work, so I can't buy that much more.
It feels like we're in Clubhouse again.
So it's gonna go up anywhere from 2, 4, 5, 10x in the course. Hold on, in the course of a month, and people are going. You're going to watch a massive repricing. You're going to watch a massive repricing. You're going to watch a massive repricing.
Tell them about the repricing, Tina. Tell them about the repricing.
It's going to be a massive repricing in very short order as people scramble to buy Bitcoin.
Move into the audience.
Scramble to buy Bitcoin.
All right, listen, we could talk about next year as much as we want. I have it in my head like slightly tighter range than you. I'm like, it's between 250 and 3. Like, I've got this weird thing. I think it's between 250 and 350, but I think it comes short of 300. I do. But at the same time,
I think we're going to 500.
Listen,
that's what I think. 500.
What I'm saying is, I'm going to take the bet because I don't think it does it. But I wouldn't be surprised, even if it hit 1 million. I wouldn't be surprised. It's like, because it's always
this year, 1 million this year, Peter.
What I'm saying is, nothing.
$1 million this year.
Nothing on the upside ever surprises me. I don't think it'll happen, but like if it happened, I'd be like, well, that's Bitcoin. Like,
All surprises are to the upside. I've been saying this for a few years now. All surprises are on the upside. And by the way, Bitcoin's natural state, it naturally wants to go higher Bitcoin wants to go higher. This business of crashing, that's only because we've had these stupid idiots who had too much Bitcoin who thought they could play with this market. And they're wrong. They can't play with the market. Bitcoin is going to be ripped out of those sellers' hands. They will never own Bitcoin again. They will not be able to afford to own Bitcoin. They will have less because they played dumb games. And guys who hold on to their Bitcoin are going to be insanely rich.
He took some warming up,
Tina.
dude.
Tell him.
Yeah, he took some warming up. This is why I wanted you on. I was like, why is he so chill at first? Once he gets going, like HODL, are you doing the bet or what? Or are you changing the terms?
Listen, I'm gonna puss out today. I'm gonna puss out. I know.
Jesus.
I know.
I cannot believe it.
Because here's the thing: you're up a half Bitcoin. I'm down a half Bitcoin, and the
You
idea
need to win that shit back.
listening to Tina's rant about Bitcoin going to $5 million, and then the idea of losing another $2.5 million after I already lost a $2.5 million is it hurts. It hurts a lot.
You could.
Then I've accomplished my goal to keep Peter from getting your Bitcoin. Because this thing's going to be at such a high price come 2025. HODL is going to have to wear this around his neck for years, and he's so young. Look how young he is. He's going to wear this. He's going to wear this for 70 years. Live to be 110, and he will remember you. American. This will be like a permanent etched memory of Peter McCormick's existence.
He already has that.
Because American, no,
it's better because I want to forget, Tina. I want to forget.
I know you do.
I know.
Right. And he's going to wear it around his neck. He's going to be haunted by this. Don't you love American HODL? You don't want this man to be haunted by this. He's going to live for years to come. Life extension is going to be enormous with medical technology. And he's going to have to think back. Oh my God, that British son of a bitch cost me all that money.
I'm going to be in the cryo tube just like Peter fucking McCormick, that motherfucker.
Tina, you've already had one heart attack. I told you I was worried about you. Hold on, listen. He's already got to live with this memory. I'm already half a Bitcoin up on him. So whatever happens, he's already. You've got a chance.
He can put this past him. You are like a devil on his shoulder. You're like a devil on his shoulder trying to get another half of Bitcoin out of the man.
No, but think about it like this: if he wins the bet, he gets back to even. I'm gone. I'm out of his life in that. You should have been Peter. You should have been born a woman. You'd be perfect. You are a temptress. Hey, listen. I didn't realize. I thought HODL had bollocks. I didn't realize he was going to pussy out. All the big talk, giving it large on Twitter.
I knocked American HODL out with that.
When you're dealing with a temptress, I mean,
So what's the deal, HODL? You pussying out for now?
But if you want to be a good temptress, you got to shave that beard because nobody wants that beard on the back of their neck.
No, fuck it.
That's not true.
I'll do it. Let's do it. Fuck it.
Let's on. Let's do it. All right. So how are we doing this time? Because I can't fuck it up. Like you said, we're gonna set up.
We're gonna have
discrete contracts.
I'm gonna have Ben come on, Ben Carmen, and he's gonna hook us up with the DLC for this because that will be the better discrete log contract. Yeah, that'll be the discrete log contract. That'll be the better way to do it.
What is it though? Like I'm on some like
we have to figure out what
that's a multi-sig. That's a multi-sig that has an oracle for the decider. Yeah. So you hold one key, HODL holds one key, and the DLC holds one key, and the oracle will they'll have to pick an oracle. You have to pick an oracle that says that it went over that amount, and then that basically signs the transaction for the winner.
We'll just pick like the Coinbase price or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it'll be that far.
You got to make sure that not at year end. It has to, if it crosses 300K at any time during the year, then HODL wins the bet.
Yeah, that's what we've agreed. Yeah, I've got to survive until midnight January 1st.
January 1st. Yep.
You hit at any other point
when the ball drops.
Wait, till midnight at on UTC time.
When the ball drops.
When the ball drops. That's New York time. That's not.
Yeah.
You're talking about New York ball dropping.
That's not. America runs the world. So when the Times Square ball drops.
Wait, you better be clear on this. That is not 0-100 UTC time.
Dude,
what if we get a rally
there is a point of contention. You have to make sure that you get this precisely right.
Okay. It has to hit by midnight New York time, January 1st. I'm cool with that. If it hits before then, at any point, you win.
Okay.
Even if it wicks up.
I'm in.
Even if it wicks up.
So we know for a fact it's going to hit 300 by New Year's Day a few hours later. That's almost a certainty.
What?
Well,
we know almost a certainty that it will hit the 300K like right after the bet's over.
See,
it's like the way option contracts work. You buy an option, it expires worthless, and the very next day, whatever you bought that call on goes to the moon.
Here's the thing. I don't think I'm going to just barely win this bet. If I win this bet, we're going to like 500K, 700K, 800K. We're going way above 300. If Pete wins, it's because we go to like 250 and top out, or 260 and top out, right? Yeah. So yeah, we're either going to get hyper bullish in the calendar year.
We're not topping out because that's just the first leg of a journey to 5 million by 2025.
Well, yeah, fuck yeah. But we might still have a crypto winter or Bitcoin winter. You know what I mean? Listen,
it'll last a week and a half.
It's not a foregone conclusion.
There's a lot of confidence this year, and it makes me think back to 33K by July. Yeah, that 33K by July. The confidence goes out. Look, I don't think we have an 80% drawdown, and I think that we've got some pretty heavyweight dip buyers that now exist in the market who are ready to buy up. But I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised in January we see a massive dump and we go through a bear market. It wouldn't surprise me.
We haven't seen any exuberance yet, really, either. You know what I mean? I mean, people have been putting positions on, but we haven't seen people like desperately FOMOing, which tends to happen at the end. And you got to remember that a lot of this price action happens in the last 48 hours, right? So like, or it all comes within 48 hours. So what we might see is like there's 2 days in middle of November or early December where it just like Pete looks like he's winning the bet all the way up until the end of the year. We're at like 150. And then all of a sudden we get 2 days of price action where the price goes to 305 or whatever, and I win the bet. So like, it's going to look like I'm losing this bet for a long time until I finally win it.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what, though,
but we all win when Bitcoin goes up, except for Pete, who's going to lose a little.
Well, but if I do, because I've kind of got this, like I've spoke to my financial advisor, and we agreed like if I can win half a Bitcoin off you every year, I know I don't ever have to sell any of my Bitcoin.
See, that's where you fucked up, is because my financial advisor is BitcoinTINA. And
your financial advisor will say, "Stop betting Pete for fuck's sake."
Yeah, pretty much. I'd say stop betting Pete for fuck's sake.
I also owe Jimmy Song. I have to buy Jimmy Song an expensive steak dinner if we don't hit 100K by May 1st. So we have to hit 100K in April. Otherwise, I owe Jimmy Song an expensive steak dinner. Shut the fuck up. No, I haven't.
I think we're going to 100.
We're going to 100K. Stop being bearish. Stop being bearish.
No, it's not bearish. I think these.
That's bearish.
I think these leg up.
Anytime we're going to 100K this month, this fucking month. Let's go.
I think these leg ups take a bit of time. Well, the only thing in your favor.
What's the listenership of what Bitcoin did? What's the listenership of this show? How many millions
per episode? I don't know. I mean,
total.
I've done over 10 million downloads now.
Okay, listen. Everybody who's listening to what Bitcoin did, you need to smash buy right now, because I am not buying Jimmy Song a fucking steak. He is buying me a steak. God damn it. All right. You all need to help me push this price to 100K. Do your part.
You know what's going to help you?
Stack hard.
You know what's going to help you? You know what's going to help you? Is the Coinbase IPO is what, 3 days away?
Some people think that might have a downward pressure on the price. I don't agree. I think it's going to have an upward pressure on the price, or it's going to cause upward momentum in the price.
Yeah, maybe with a lag. I don't know. I mean, does that seem expensive? Like, by the way, valuing them 100 billion.
I think the rumor that you've heard that Walmart bought $1 billion worth, right?
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be massive FOMO. Massive.
I think when that rumor is confirmed, that will be extremely massive FOMO. Extreme. Because Walmart's a lot different than Tesla. A lot different.
I was listening to Dan Held talk about the potential public companies, and I think that when you look at valuations like Coinbase and these other companies that might come public, I think it makes Bitcoin look ridiculously stupid cheap. $1 trillion is like bupkis. It's like nothing. I mean, Bitcoin's going up so much It looks just insanely cheap to me at these
Well, when you
levels.
think
And
about the ratio,
think what
It is.
I think about the ratio because they're like that would be valuing Coinbase at about 1/10 of the size of Bitcoin.
Right, and but it's more than just that, because he came up with a bunch of exchanges that basically get you to $300 and some odd billion. That's crazy. That kind of infrastructure. So the infrastructure in the space is amazing. Bitcoin is way too cheap, and there's way too many morons putting money in these shitcoins.
But
that's
it's
just
Coinbase
ridiculous.
overvalued. You know, because what was there?
No. I think it indicates. I think it indicates that Bitcoin is insanely cheap. That's the real issue. Bitcoin's really stupid cheap. I'm telling you, when Bitcoin passes Apple this year, and I don't know when it's going to pass Apple this year. I just know that it will pass Apple this year. That's like $120,000
this month.
You're going to see nonstop. It could be this month. That's going to be nonstop coverage on CNBC, on Fox Business, CNN. Or it's going to make all the news. It's going to make people's heads explode.
Some of my most favorite, most retarded Twitter bears are out there calling cycle tops currently at 60K. You haven't seen anything yet. You haven't seen fucking anything. This is nothing. We're in April. This is the beginning of fucking April. The bull run goes all year. And if Tina's right, dude, come on. Look at the cycles.
You're down half a Bitcoin in a stake already.
Look at where we are in terms of. Do you ever follow the halving tracker on Twitter, Pete?
I don't know.
I'll pull it up.
Is it an account?
Yeah, it's an account. Oh, hey, this is a hilarious tweet. Stony Bitson says, if you think Pete Bitcoin is when someone buys a fancy car that gets parked in a pikey poverty garage woodshed, then you are here for the wrong fucking reason.
He totally doesn't get British. He doesn't get British humor.
I think that one's about you. I think that one's about you, Pete.
No, of course it's a dude. Like it's because I took the Aston down to the Bedford Town Football Club with Peter Schiff.
Okay, the halving tracker. This was put together by Bitstein, and basically the current price is 59K. The 2012 scaled price should be at this point in the cycle 136K. The 2016 scaled price at this point in the cycle should be 36,000, and the average scale price is 69,000. So we're tracking more or less in between the post 2012 and the post 2016 halving, right?
Why is it? By the way, why is Stoney so angry?
Bro, I don't know, man. Did you do something to him?
Did
you stack a wall incorrectly?
I dug a hole. I dug a hole incorrectly. Like, why is he so angry, dude? Like I block him all the time, and then he gets banned, and he comes on, and he just starts yelling at me, and like.
That is the best part about being banned is when you get to come back, you get to get reblocked by all the same people.
Well, I'm not going to this time because why is he so? You know him though. Why is he so angry?
I don't know him that well. I don't know what his beef is with you. I think your whole thing of come on, bro, come on. You do this. You continually poke the hornet's nest on purpose. You know you do that.
No, I don't.
Come on. Yes, you do. 100%.
The British plebs aren't like this. The British plebs have got a lot more class.
What do the British plebs do?
They'll say, "Look, Pete, I'm a bit disappointed in you."
I don't know. Isn't Beauty on British? I think he is.
Yeah. I don't know if he's a pleb. But Stoney's so angry, like all the time. You go on his Twitter, it's just like, "Fuck this, fuck that, you fucking status cuck." Like why is he so angry? Yeah, but he's also got no bollocks. I'm like, come on the show, man. We'll talk about it. He's like, and he always runs away with his little nuts. Why is he so angry? Do you know him in person?
I don't know him in person. No, I've talked to him
He's
before.
Just angry.
He's a good dude. He's a good pleb. Good pleb, dude.
Just angry. What makes a good pleb?
What makes a good pleb is just the ability to call bullshit whenever and wherever you see it. That's what makes a good pleb. And stacking and living on less than you make.
You cut out on that.
Living a humble lifestyle, living a humble lifestyle and calling bullshit.
Aston Martin's a humble lifestyle in the UK. Maybe you should get yourself a Rolls Royce. You can buy one off.
Exactly.
No, I'm not going to say that. Never mind.
Yeah, Rolls Royce. Too clutch. I'm pretty humble. I just make jokes about it. I make when I'm not being humble, it's a joke. Like I'm trolling.
I
That's all it is.
believe you. I believe you, man. I believe you.
Hey, you're the king of the pleb.
I'm definitely not the king of the plebs.
You are, whether you like it or not. You'll see
the
this.
plebs have no king. The best way to be stabbed by the plebs is to declare yourself king of the plebs. Then you'll immediately get stabbed in the back.
You
as
are.
it should,
Absolutely.
as it should,
Absolutely.
as it should be, as it
You
fucking
are.
should be.
Absolutely.
When you were
Absolutely.
texting me the other day, you're like, I run this show. The plebs look to me. I'm in charge.
Do you know that Michael Saylor follows fucking Dieter Bob on Twitter? Do you know that?
I saw that.
Why? That guy's insane. Like, why follow Dieter?
He's down with the Cyber Hornets, dude.
Well,
down.
Pete, you can
Dieter
probably
isn't
say
a
whatever
pleb. Dieter's just a fucking moron.
you
he has a
probably
mental
can say
illness,
whatever
yeah.
you probably can say whatever you want about Dieter because he probably doesn't listen to your show. So you're safe there.
No, this is the funny thing. This is the funny thing because they're all like, fuck you. You're an idiot. I hate your show. Especially that one you spoke to Brian Armstrong when he said this, or that one with. It's like it sounds like you're listening to every fucking episode.
They listen to know what they don't like.
The plebs
they listen and hate.
beat up on Tina a little while back. Tina was taking all
Did they?
plebs on at once. Yeah, he was fighting them all.
Oh,
at
I
once.
remember that. I saw some shit. Some WhatsApp messages get shared out or something. What happened there?
Well, I just wanted people to have some dry powder in case it went lower from these stupid sellers. So I wanted people to be able to pick up their Bitcoin cheaper in case it was crazy.
I think Boomer.
But
Pleb
that's probably the only time I ever tweeted anything that was somewhat cautious.
For whatever
There are some
reason,
reasonable
Bitcoin has this history where when people get status in the Bitcoin community, they end up attacking Bitcoin, right? And so the pleb movement is sort of a defense against that, like guys like Roger Ver or Jihan Wu or Jeff Garzik or Gavin Andreessen. I mean, we've had a lot of Trace Mayer. We've had a lot of Bitcoin heroes who have gotten too big for their britches and who have needed to be, metaphorically stabbed in the back. And the plebs are there sharpening their knives at all times, waiting for you to mess up. And the minute you they're going to stab you. Yeah, the minute you launch Peatcoin.
Peatcoin.
Yeah, I'm launching Peatcoin next week. Actually, I might rename it Plebcoin for a joke.
Just do an NFT.
Coin.
That's enough. Just do an NFT.
NFT
Get
Plebcoin.
A pleb FT. Oh man.
Yeah, man.
So Tina.
Don't mess with the plebs.
Tina.
Yeah, Pete.
I thought you got banned from Clubhouse.
I did get banned from Clubhouse. Somebody reported me for not using my real name. But it turns out BitcoinTINA is my real name. My parents were way ahead of the curve. It was very hard going through elementary school with the name BitcoinTINA. It was
For anybody who has not been on Bitcoin Clubhouse, Tina is the wrecking ball of Bitcoin Clubhouse. He acts as an enforcer in every room. If you start off your sentence with even a mild whiff of shitcoinery, Tina will give you a 20-minute lecture about what a fucking idiot you are. And he does this often and repeatedly, and it's great. And I think people in the audience really learn a lot from it, and all of us on stage are pretty entertained by it. And so I think that there was a coordinated attack by a bunch of shitcoiners and people that Tina was, quote unquote, mean to get Tina reported and then ultimately banned. But you know what? The power of the plebs is stronger than Clubhouse because Tina is back on Clubhouse and he's yelling at people more than ever now. It's amazing.
I think people who wrote in support of me really helped a lot. All I gave them, I did not give them any real ID. I gave them the top of my Twitter profile. I gave them, I said, look, I'm on Twitter. This is my pseudonymous brand, and it's my brand. And so they wrote me back. So I don't want to read what the hell they wrote, but it's basically, okay, you're fine and you're back.
Right, are we all going to Miami?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Tina, you come to Miami?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe I can stay with Hodl in his Airbnb.
There you go. I already kicked Preston Pish out.
I know you did. That's why I said.
He was trying to stay with me. I was like, nah, bro.
He didn't act fast enough for American HODL.
I was like, you're not cool. You're not cool. On Twitter, sorry, Preston. Like, you're a cool guy and all, but I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. Just couldn't do it.
How do you go and kick Preston Pish out?
So hey, it's a pleb palace. Plebs get first dibs.
Pleb palace with their pleb king.
I mean, I can't. what am I supposed to say, bro? But now I'm a little scared because I think Preston has spec ops training, and I'm worried he's going to sneak in and slit my throat in the middle of the night. So got to sleep with one eye open, or just stay drunk the whole time and don't go to sleep. That's my real plan for Miami.
Which plebs are going? Is it nice plebs or angry plebs?
Bro, I don't know. Listen, they're all nice. They're good people. The plebs are good people, man.
Some of them are.
Plebs are great people.
Some of them are fucking mean.
You know, Bitcoin needs
like
Bitcoin needs to be defended. The cyber hornets defend Bitcoin, and that's
we're not a polite culture like you guys over there either. Like America is a very brash culture, much more so than England. Yeah.
I've noticed
we don't like being polite. Being polite is a waste of time. It's inefficient, you know.
Yeah, I've noticed that. But you're much nicer in person. So.
Well, everybody's a douchebag on Twitter, are they not?
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. Right? Even Lex Friedman, who quote unquote loves us all. He blocked us all. You know?
Yeah. That's on you. I listened to a show. I think both Nick Carter and Pomp both did an excellent job. I think both of them did. Especially Nick. I think Nick absolutely killed it. I don't think Bitcoin is really for Lex. Has he had his Charles Hodgkinson's show on it yet?
God, I don't know. I would never listen to some shit like that ever. You know,
I'm going to listen to that one.
It's amazing. It's amazing how early we are that all this shit is still going on. Like, it's fucking crazy to me. You know, I mean, I really, in my heart of hearts, believe that the people would wise up and that the shitcoinery would stop. This is one of the things that makes me think that we're not going to see a Bitcoin supercycle as Tina laid out, because it's too rational. It's way too rational, and humans are not rational actors. These motherfuckers are out there buying JPEGs, Pete. The hardest money in existence is right here. They can buy it for $60,000. You can get 1 million Satoshis for $600, and they want to buy a fucking autograph for a JPEG? Are you fucking kidding me? It's like an autograph that points to a JPEG. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know?
At the door. Who's that? Is that you, Scarlett?
Like, how many times were these people dropped as a fucking child that they're still continuing this behavior? It's egregious stupidity, irrational exuberance on fleek. Like, they just can't help themselves. Everybody wants to fucking mint an NFT because it's quote unquote free money. You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah. It is. Yeah. Listen,
it's so aggravating to be smart. It's so fucking aggravating.
We will cover NFTs another time. Do you know what? I made a show with Jimmy Song about NFTs, and I didn't even bother releasing it. I was just like, what's the point? I'm just going to put it out there. Everyone's going to yell at me. All the shitcoiners are going to fucking yell at me.
That's true.
So I was like,
and the Bitcoiners too.
Yeah, I said to Jimmy, I can't even be bothered to release it because it's just going to be people yelling at me. And I'm kind of like, I think the shitcoiners in that way have won, because I'm almost like, I can't even be bothered to criticize it now because I just get yelled at all day and get called Peter Schiff.
I think the thing with NFTs is that Bitcoin is incredibly complicated. And it takes a lot of study to understand, and it's very multidisciplinary, and you have to be pretty high IQ to really grok it. Whereas digital art is a pretty accessible avenue for most people to get in, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's fucking stupid, but most people are fucking stupid, unfortunately.
Exactly. So I'm getting dragged away from my kids. Tina, do you want to rant about anything before we're done?
All we need to talk about is the price. So I'm done.
But you're done. You don't want to shout about anything. You can. Just you can't do 20 minutes.
Oh, well, I can't do 20 minutes. What's the point?
You know, once Tina gets worked up, he can't stop. You know, he's got to keep going.
That's true. It's like going downhill.
Is it like a Formula One car? You got to get it warmed up, and then you can't let it cool because it dies off.
Pretty much, yeah. I have, I really want to stress that these people who think they should own a proof of stake just don't understand anything. There's too many people who buy these garbage coins, and there will be a time. I was having this conversation with John Seth a couple of days ago, and I expect, and I don't know when this happens, but I expect. What did you just say?
I love that dude. Just saying, I love John Seth.
Yeah, I do too. I expect, and he expects, there will be some time in the future when pretty much all the value gets sucked out of the altcoins like really fast over the course of a few weeks or a few months, and just goes right into Bitcoin, because people finally realize these things don't do anything. They don't actually serve any purpose. But people are so freaking stupid. They
You know what's
buy so
amazing?
much stupid crap.
The shitcoiners are actually going to be the people to get into Bitcoin last. They're going to be the very last. Yeah, very last money in. It's going to be interesting.
It'll be so funny when these guys are waiting on our tables. Don't let them spit in your food when they're waiting on our tables in the Citadels.
Yeah,
oh God, you're gonna get me yelled at for these last comments. Listen,
I hope you heard that, Mark Cuban. Don't spit in my food when you're waiting tables. Banana boy.
Banana coin. All right, listen. Love you both. Thanks for coming on. Hodl,
Thanks, Peter.
I'll text you later when I'm in the bath. Tina, appreciate you, dude.
Yay.
Oh, bet's on, right? Bet's on.
Yeah, bet's on. Bet's on.
You're gonna speak to Thingy, and we'll hook up a show and we'll set it up and
yeah. I'll talk to Ben and we'll do a DLC. We'll do a DLC for it.
Bet is on. Okay, nice one. Look, love you both. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye. Thanks.